Well, welcome to Sunday Night Spins here at 35 to 1 Roulette Cruisin. Sure glad you joined us here on this Sunday night. So let's see who we got on here with us. Harbor to Happy Hour. Good evening from Nashville, Randall. Howdy from San Antonio. Let's see. Escape is on here. Hey from St. Pete. And Escapades with J and K. Okay. And so let's wait a minute. Let's see if we can get some more in here. I've had a busy week this week. That's why I was so late on getting the video out. I didn't get one out till yesterday, but I've just been super busy. We had our county fair this past week, and just been busy with that all week long. And finally had some time to throw something together. It was actually night before last, I guess. I was up to like 2 o'clock in the morning getting that video ready and to get it uploaded for you guys. I hate to wait so long to get one out, but that's just how it goes. But been dealing with weather, working in a barn all week, dust and all that stuff, so got my allergies all whacked up. But sure glad you guys have joined us. Let's see. All right, we got 9 people on here watching. All right, so remember, okay, Andrew's on here. Let's see. So remember, we have the $1.99 super chat. You pay a $1.99 super chat. We'll do a one-hit wonder spin for you. You have to double your money on it. So at any point during the live session, if you want to do one of those, you'll win a chip. I know there's been a couple of wins on here. I think Roberts has won a few like that. But I also want to make sure you guys know that whoever has the most one-hit wonder wins over the course of the year, I'm just going to have to stretch it out for a year, will receive a t-shirt. Okay, so just kind of keep that in mind. Randall got a t-shirt a couple months ago. I sent that to him, and hopefully it's working out for you, Randall. And just kind of know those one-hit wonders, I keep count of everybody and who all's winning them, and then at the end of the year I'll see who has the most wins. Robert's been doing pretty good. Sammy has been doing pretty good. So we'll keep it up, try to keep it going the best we can, as long as we can. All right, let's see. Andrew, okay. Patty's on here. Hello, everyone. Okay, James is on here. What animals do you work? All right. Ron's on here. All right. So now that the question has been asked, we show steers and heifers. I don't really have a big farm, but I got a few animals here at home, and my girls have been showing animals. They've showed goats. Then we kind of transitioned up to cattle, so it's to show animals. But my daughter is a senior this year, so at the fair this year, she won Grand Champion Steer and Grand Champion Showmanship, Senior Showmanship. All right, so I do have a picture for that if you guys want to see it. All right, let me show you that picture. This is my daughter, my oldest daughter. And that's her steer there. We when you work a project like that, that's a year's worth of work, getting that steer ready to go for this fair. This fair is a terminal show, so which means that fair gets shown, or that steer gets shown, and once the show is over, they go to for sale, and they have an auction, and they sell off the steers, and they go to a slaughterhouse. Okay, so that's a project that you work on through either 4-H or FFA. That's kind of what we do. That's what I do outside of here. So of course I do have a lot of stuff going on outside of YouTube. So, but yeah, so there it is. That was her steer that she won Grand Champion Steer with this year, which is, you couldn't ask for a better finish for a senior, and her senior year showing livestock. And she's actually going to college in the fall, and going to be majoring in animal science. So I'm not sure if she's going to go to vet road or if she's just going to dive off into the ag industry. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But she really likes it. All right, so let's see. Picture time. All right. Evening all. That's from Fox Gaming. Escape says, congratulations. Thank you, Escape. Let's see. Ron's on here. He's from Orlando. And this live tonight is preparing me for my cruise. I go on Utopia tomorrow, and it's a 4-night cruise, so I'll be on there till Friday. So trying to get prepared for that and figuring out what I'm going to do. All right, so Let's see. Big Day says, congrats. Patty, you must be very proud. Oh, yeah, you can't imagine, Patty. Let's see. James says, fantastic. I used to sponsor 4-H and buy auction animals. Well, that, you know, we really appreciate the buyers. We are the smallest county in Florida, and you know, in our show, we have about 40 steers that we show and sell. Let's see. Escape says, Auburn? Question mark? Question mark. No, now she was thinking about going to Auburn, but no, she's going to be going to UF. She has got accepted into UF, so she's going to go down there and possibly be on the livestock judging team. Her 4-H team actually won state last year, and they went to nationals this past fall. So you know, so that's kind of her thing. You know, she loves ag. But anyway, we are a roulette channel, so let's dive off into some strategies here. All right, so here we go. Well, I do appreciate the congratulations from everybody. It's just a little something about me. You know, yeah, you see me on here, you're like, oh, he's just a guy that just does YouTube. But I do much more than that. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on outside of this YouTube life here. All right, so let's see. So this, you know, this cruise here, I don't want to say I'm not exactly chasing points, you know, because we're at the end of the year for the casino year. I'm setting it like 9,300 points. You know, I'm not going to make it to signature. So, you know, why waste a bunch of time pursuing that? But I do have a cruise that I'm actually interested in that I'm going to be trying to get a certificate to get on that particular cruise. But I'm going to have to earn like 3,000 points to do it. So, you know, so it's going to be one of those. I am going to kind of push to see if I can earn those points. So how am I going to do that? Well, I'm really wanting to test out that battleship strategy again. I know we ran it last week, and everybody's probably getting tired of seeing it, but you probably get tired of seeing Point Pusher as well. But the battleship strategy for me, I feel like a $200 buy-in, a $48 average, and just see how it goes. You know, just sit at the table and go as far as that $200 to take me. All right, so just for a, you know, test run, of course, it's how the spins go. We hit it last week. I think we hit it last week with $25 chips. But I'm just going to play it like I'm going to do it on the ship. And, you know, as long as I can get a lot of time at the table, you know, we got a chance. All right, so $200 on the table, CPAS card to scan it, give it back to you. That's how you get your points on the cruise. All right, so let's see. Paradise says, hey, what's up, Eric? I'm finally back on dry ground. Well, that's good. That's good. Glad you made it back. And we're going to, let's see, what's the date? Let's see, the 22nd. So let's see, 3/22, 26. I try to fill this out before we get started, but hey, I was running a little late because I had a cow issue this afternoon I had to deal with. So anyway, let's see, when do you leave? Tomorrow. Yes, Dan, I go on the ship tomorrow. And it's Utopia of the Seas is what I'm going on. And me, my wife, and my 2 daughters are going. And then we have some friends going with us with their 2 kids. And and we're all on comp cruise. Every one of us is on a comp cruise. So, you know, this kind of works out. And this is actually this is the cruise I picked with my annual certificate last year. So when it came in, I looked out to spring break, and it worked out. All right, so there we go. So we're going to do battleship. Trying to remember, make sure I do this right. So we got 5 chips, 5 chips, 5 chips. That's $10 each right there. And of course, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. But we can simplify that. 4 chips there, 4 chips there, and 1 chip on the 0-0-0 split. Okay, so with this strategy here, these are going to be it's a 9-chip loss. 9-chip loss from here to here. Okay, a 9-chip loss, 15 to 24. It is a 6-chip profit on 27 to 36 and 12 to 3, and it is a 6-chip loss on that 0-0-0. and your only profit is going to be these 8 numbers here. Really, I mean, not saying only profit, but you really want to hit these, okay? Because that's going to pay 12 chips profit, okay? Well, let's get us a ball. Let's get going with this thing. Maybe I get my wheel spinning while my ball's going. Probably should have done that. But anyway, I just one of them Sunday nights, and can't wait to get on the cruise tomorrow. Make sure to hit that like button for me. If you don't mind, go ahead and click that for me and get that thing going. And boy, I spun that wheel tonight. All right, 19, there we go. All right, so that's going to be a 12 chip profit. All right, because that's going to pay, essentially, 1 chip should be right there. So we're going to go ahead and pay 12 chips right there. Now, most of you have seen this strategy and has kind of seen what it does. It does lose, okay? But the thing is, it doesn't lose 100%. Okay, so that's one thing I like about this one, and the recovery is actually pretty good. As long as we can hit those 8 numbers. Now, we could shift those, shift them down here, which means we'd have to move this there. You can kind of shift this thing around to where you feel like if it's hitting a lot of high numbers, maybe put them down here and then see how it goes. All right, so right there is a 9 chip loss. All right, so there's 9 chips. Loss right there. All right, so anybody cruising anytime soon? I see Ron's on here. Ron, are you on a cruise, or you're not on Utopia tonight, are you? I was kind of hoping that maybe you would be on this on the ship with me tomorrow. All right, 11. That's another 9 chip loss. But I don't know. We'll see. Of course, there's a Facebook group. There's a couple guys that's on there that's in the Cruising Club group on Facebook. They're going to be there. Big Day says he's on Rhapsody next week. Escape says April 25th, Rhapsody. Okay. All right, 23. That is going to be a 12 chip profit right there. All right. Now, if we were playing this with $5 chips, I'm just a little hesitant on playing with $5 chips right now anyway. I don't want to lose any money, but I need to earn some points, and I don't want to overextend. I'd rather set here for, twice as long, I guess, at a lower average than, really just burn my bankroll early, All right, that is a 9 chip loss right there. All right, and I know Ryan has Ryan has run this, and he says he hasn't had any issue with the rating for this. And I would kind of suspect that they would have me at $50 right now. I mean, we're at $48. So let's see. Harbor says Ryan is on Utopia tonight. Oh man. And then Dan, 2 weeks Brilliance out of San Juan. All right, Dan, Brilliance out of San Juan. I saw somebody made a video about flying out of or getting to San Juan. Said it's a little bit of a nightmare right now. All right, so that's a 6 chip profit right there. Let's see. Dan says he's now Pinnacle Ryan to us lowbrow people. Okay. All right. Paradise says 12 days until Navigator. All right. Y'all counting down the days. All right. 16 is a 12 chip profit. Let me pay that. That's 10. There's 12 right there. All right, we are 8 spins into it. We're actually in profit just a pinch. We don't play this one. We don't play this one for the profitability of it. we played this one kind of for the survivability of it. I mean, to be honest, I'm kind of liking it, but I really want to see it on a live table. Somebody made a comment on YouTube for this, said they've run it on a simulator and they keep losing their shorts. You know, I don't know. I really haven't had any bad sessions with it. Of course, here on my table at the house. So, you know, when you get on the ship, you know, they turn the magnets on. Okay, it says, Patty says, wish I was cruising soon. Work really gets in the way of cruising. I don't get on a ship again until May 3rd on Symphony. Yeah, that's kind of what my work life gets in the way of my cruise life. All right, so that is a 9-chip loss right there. And I got a lady at work that every time I talk to her, you know, which I don't talk to her daily, but every time she talks to me, she's like, when's your next cruise? And so, you know, every time I'm like, well, it's 2 weeks from now. And then it's like, oh, it's Monday. And it's, you know, it's pretty funny. I mean, to hear her laugh. Let's see. Also, this is Escape. He's also on Jewel August 21st. Only costs $350 for 2. Ron says, not on a cruise until Utopia April 10th. Wow, Ron, that's a long break. I guess you're probably holding off to get past... no, that's not a long break. I mean, you're only like 3 weeks away. Ain't too bad. I'm 60 and need to figure out when to retire and cruise. Yeah. When I retire, I'm really going to take advantage of these offers. I can tell you that. All right, that is a 6-chip profit right there. You know, that last offer, I don't know if it was the last offer, but that one offer just came through. It had an Alaskan cruise, had the northbound for 7 days out of Vancouver, I guess, up to Seaward. And then there was a southbound, same offer. So I could have booked the northbound with my offer, and my wife could have booked the southbound with her offer. And, you know, and it was a balcony offer. So, you know, if only I would not have to work, I could probably enjoy them offers a little more. All right, there is a 9-chip loss right there. But we booked an Alaskan cruise in June out of Vancouver, and we have realized that it's almost more expensive to get to the ship than it is to be on the ship. You know, hotel rooms in Vancouver during peak season they're like $700 a night, give or take. And of course, you need to fly in early, you know, the day early, so you're going to have to stay the night. And then, you know, and coming back, I guess you could book a flight later in later in the day, but that would put us getting back to Florida really late. So we decided, well, let's just stay the night and get on a flight early and come back. Let's see. Dan says, I'm doing Alaska in July on Celebrity out of Seattle. Okay. All right, 26. All right, we're going to go through one of those bad runs right here, I feel. Hit a bunch of lost numbers. Yeah, so this is the first one we've done that's not leaving out of Florida. So an Alaskan cruise. We're taking the kids with us. Like I said, my daughter is graduating, so it's kind of her graduation present kind of thing, and then it's something for us too. So, yeah, 34. Yeah, now we're going to get on a bad run of losses here. I feel them coming. But with this strategy here, it's like you don't need to develop a walkaway of, you know, like 20 spins or 10 spins or something like that. It's almost buy in for $200. This is what you can afford now. But buy in for $200 and just see how long it lasts, because it goes through cycles of a bunch of losses and then it recovers. And once it starts recovering, you know, it works out. But, you know, you just got to survive long enough for that recovery to kick in. All right, so let's see. Patsy says, I'm on Princess to Alaska out of Seattle in August. first non-royal cruise and first Alaskan cruise. Escape says, yep, hotels in April in San Juan is $500 a night. Holy cow. I told my wife we were going to sleep in the airport. Yeah. All right, that is a 6-chip profit there. Yeah, whenever, we're like, hey, let's jump on this Alaskan cruise. We had it with an instant certificate, and it's like, man, we got it locked in, we're good to go. And then it's like flights were super expensive, hotels were super expensive, but luckily we had like a what is it, a Delta Sky Miles card at some point years ago, and we still had points available, so it allowed us to use points to book our hotel room. So yeah, so that worked out. We saved a little bit of money using those reward points. So keep that in mind while you're traveling. Keep up with your reward points, and use everything you can use. All right, 2. Oh my, we need to get a good win here. So that's a 9-chip loss right there. And I would think about switching to another strategy, but like I said, this one goes through a cycle of a bunch of losses, and then we'll go through a cycle of a few wins in a row and recover most of everything we've lost. So I like the cycle of this one, but it's just surviving. All right, Harbor says May 15th, 2-week northbound and southbound. Wow. Yeah, that was on the offer, and just timing wise, it didn't work out for us. I've got 2 daughters, one graduating this year, and the younger one's graduating next year. But she is in the band, or she's on the flag team with the band at high school, and it's her senior season and all that. So I'm trying not to do too much from that August to really the end of October, that window there. I'm trying to not cruise during that, which is cut off a lot because there's a lot of good offers in that span of time. All right, so there's another 9-chip loss there. All right, I'm gonna say we're gonna try to go 30 spins with it. Just running through them. And like I said, I don't think I'm going to go on the ship and set a walk away of 30 spins or whatever. I believe what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy in for $200, and I'm going to run it until the wheels fall off. All right, that is a 6-chip profit there. May be a bad idea, but this might be one of those challenges that you tell the pit boss to you got your chance, and you bust me and see what happens. See if you can bust me. I'm gonna stay here, till you turn the lights off, I guess. All right, 27. All right, that's another 6-chip profit there. All right, there's 6 chips. Yeah, we got some friends going with us, and he really likes craps. So I'll probably play a lot of craps on this cruise. I'm working on a strategy for craps that's, it's higher average, but, again, trying not to bust my bankroll too bad with this one. All right, there's that. That's going to be a 12-chip profit there. So there's those 12 chips right there. All right, we got Escape says, can't wait to hear how it goes for you. I'm really curious to see how this one's going to do. I mean, I really am. I know Ryan said he ran it, but he had a bad run and cashed out. But he also said that if he would have stayed there just a little, he thinks if he would have stayed there a little longer, he'd have probably got that back. But he was playing it at the 120 level, which using $5 chips. All right, that's a 9-chip loss there. And but he said he was there for I think he said he was there for 30 spins, and he made like 370 points, I do believe. in 30 spins, but he was down like $300. But, you know, he could have probably got that back if he'd have stayed there a little longer. That's why I'm scared to run this right out the gate at that level. But it goes well enough that it's like, well, if I was playing with $5 chips, you know, if I'd have bought in for $500 and played it with $5 chips, I would have the same outcome, you know. But do I want to lose $500 or do I want to lose just $200? I don't know. And make sure to check in the details down there. The link to the Facebook page, or not a page, it's a Facebook profile. Go on there and follow that link and go over and follow that. I'm not sure what I'm doing with it right now. I am just going to try something. I can't do any lives there until I have 100 subscribers or 100 followers, I guess. So just make sure to run over there. I really haven't put it out there too much other than on the live. I only just tell you guys, because you guys are the ones that are, you know, dedicated to the channel. Seems like you're here every week, and I do appreciate the support you guys give to the channel. All right, 25. All right, so that is another 9-chip loss right there. And let's see. Let's see. Dan says, simple solution, avoid the donks. yeah, if that would just work. Mike says, try the opposing 20 after 2 spins. Opposing 20. Oh, after it hits one of the other ones twice in a row, maybe? Escape says, what's the name of the book? The book. What's the book? All right, let's see. There is another 9-chip loss. There's a book. I might have missed something on that one, Escape. Can't wait to hear how it goes. Not a book, Facebook page. Yeah, the Book of Faces. If you go on the Book of Faces, and I got a link in the description there, and you'll find it there. 6. That is a 6-chip profit there. All right, we are 28 spins. Here's 29 right here. 29 spins at this moment. Let's see, what's the name of the Facebook? It's Roulette Cruisin. I couldn't put the 35-1 in there, so it's just Roulette Cruisin. But I've already gotten in trouble from Facebook. I don't know why. They don't give you any explanation as to why they do what they do. But I got a notification the other day that they're no longer recommending my page. I have no idea why. It says I violated some community standards bull. So I don't know. They didn't block it. They hadn't turned it off. People are still seeing it, I guess, but, you know. All right, 17. That is a 12-chip profit there. I don't know. I don't know if it's the gambling, Dan. I don't know. It don't make any sense, because there's other pages on Facebook that, I mean, they're in the casino playing, you know. And heck, this is all I do. I don't go in the casino and record video. All right, so we went 30 spins with the Battleship strategy at the $48 level. Okay, so it's another successful session with this. So 30 spins, there's our original 200 we bought in for. 10, 20, there's $30 profit. Okay, so $30 profit after 30 spins, and we probably earned 150 points during that session. You know, so if I was playing with $5 chips, we would have earned 300 plus points. I would guess. So we're out for 230. Let's see, plus 30 on that. We went 30 spins at a $48 average, but let's just say they gave us $50 for our average. and we say we earned 150 points for that session. All right, so let's see. Let me pay myself $30 plus my original 200 right there. All right, what do y'all want to see next? You got anything in mind that y'all probably want to see? I know, you know, you're kind of, I said I was going to run through stuff that I'm going to play on the ship. So let's, I don't know, let's do another one. Another $200 buy-in. $200 again. Shouldn't have even put the rack away. Should have left that $200 right there. And let's see what happens here. So let's establish a number. I'm going to run the 6 streets strategy here. And I think you guys have seen it before. I look at these streets as sisters. So these have 2 left numbers. So they're sisters. Here's another 2 left side numbers. And here's another 2 left side numbers. Okay. So wherever it hits, I'm going to work the sisters. Okay. Right side, right side, right side, and then like I showed you, left. All right, so we hit on 9. Okay, so 9 is going to be a right side number. I'm hoping it's going to switch sides. This gets a little more complicated. This is one that has been successful for me. All right, so that's a left side, a right side number. So we're going to go after the left side now. Okay, so here we go. So that's 12 left side numbers right now. So, you know, we're kind of hoping for, of course, we're hoping for one of them to hit, but if it misses, I'm gonna increase those. I'm chasing my loss with this one. Now, this is not one that I'm going to play really for points, but I have sat down with this one, and it has been profitable a couple of cruises. I don't play it very often, but every once in a while I'll dive off into it if I'm hurting on my bankroll a little bit. So 31. Okay, so we're gonna pay, that pays 11 to 1. All right, so there's 11 right there. All right, so let's see. So that was a left number. So now we're gonna go after some right numbers now. So now we just switch sides of the wheel. So we have 12 numbers on the right, and we have 6 numbers on the left. So the 2, 8, 14, 23, 29, 35 are on the left side of the wheel. And we have 12 right numbers, which are 1, 3, 7, 9, 13, 15, 22, 24, 28, 30, and 34, 36. So there we go. It switched sides for us. All right, so there we go. I'll rake this. That's going to pay that 11 to 1 right there. All right, so we hit a right side, so we're going to switch it up again. Now we're going to go left. Now, you know, this is one it's almost like a battle with the dealer while playing this one. You know, because they're sometimes I feel like they're trying to bust me, you know. All right, 9. All right, so we missed right there. So we're going to pay 6 chips. We're just going to go ahead and just pay that out. 6 chips there. Now we're going to increase these to 2 chips each. And see what happens here. And I did have somebody ask me the other day, what's my, yeah, everybody hit that heart button. I appreciate that heart. I did get asked the other day, what's my tip? How do I tip? You know, that's one of those things, if you're a low bankroll player, you know, you still need to tip a little bit. All right, so that's going to pay 22 chips. So there's 22 chips right there. I'm going to bring that back to the rack there. And let's see, so that hit a left number, so we're going to go right. And there they are right there. I followed you under, Escapades with JK on Facebook. or book face. Okay. I appreciate that. Yeah, I need to get some followers on there because I want to try to do some lives on there. I actually got on the other morning and I'm like, oh, I'm going to do a live. And then it's like, oh no, you can't do lives until you have 100 followers. And I'm like, what the heck? Okay, so now that hit a right side number, but it missed our street. So now it's like, well, should I stay where I'm at? Or should I go ahead and reverse everything back to the left side? Let's just keep it there. So I got 6 chips there, just paid this loss right there. So now I'm gonna bump these up to 2 chips. Let's see. Can the dealers determine where to put the ball in a number like a baseball player, just switch a certain number? I don't know. I mean, I would think, I've heard them talk about the dealers spin the ball so often that, they're pretty good at putting it in a section of the wheel, but I'm really not sure. I mean, there may be the occasional person that might can, but I had a dealer one time. I was running a strategy. I was running that yin and yang strategy. That paid 22 to 1. Holy cow, Fox Gaming. I appreciate that. That's $10, 1 to 18 until it hits, please. The rest can be donated to the last spin of the night. Awesome, awesome. All right, well, let's go ahead and get one of them, get that one-hit wonder spin taken care of there. So Fox Gaming, he's wanting to win. All right, so what we're going to do, Fox, is we're going to spin you. I'm going to go ahead and play with orange chips, being that's what I got out here. And I got the most of right now. So you're wanting 1 to 18. So this is a one-hit wonder spin that Fox Gaming just put a super chat in for. He wants to hit that 1 to 18. And if it misses, we're going to go another one. If it misses, we're going to go another one. All right. So he is going to win a chip. And so let's see what happens here. Casino is tracking it too. And they'll switch to a different weighted ball if they find a signature. Okay. Yep, that was Dan. Here we go, 34. All right, so that's 1 down. All right, so how am I gonna keep up with that? Let's see. How many $2? That'll be 5 chips possible. All right, so let's do it like that right there, Fox. All right, so you've lost 1. All right, here we go again. We're going again. Hey, Robert, how you doing? Thank you again for that $2 super chat there. Stelly's asking, what's up, everyone? Happy Sunday. I'm super late. Yeah, we were wondering where you were at. What have you guys been playing? We did Battleship for 30 spins and profited $30. And Stelly says, Eric, you excited for... Yes, I am very excited. I've been waiting for this for, it seems like, forever. Uh-oh. 00. Okay, so that's another chip loss, Fox. All right, how many can you win? All right, so this is a super chat spin that Fox put a $10 super chat in for. He is chasing that 1 to 18, and he's going to run it until he hits it. And then if we have any money left over, he's just donating it to the end. I appreciate that. Holy cow, 29. There is another loss there, Fox. Are you going to get it going or what? Here we go. You got this spin and 1 more. Let's see what happens. All right, make sure everybody hits that heart button for me. I got to hit these hearts on these super chats. I do appreciate you guys. It does help, man. I mean, I get the shipping on this thing and all that. There we go. We finally got one, Fox. All right, so there it is. So there is your chip right there. It only took 4 spins to do it, and we got you a chip in there. So be sure to email me at roulettecruisin@gmail.com. Make sure you name and address and your screen name. So let me put it in here. Make sure I got you in here. And then we have 2 more, and we have a win right there. And I do appreciate your donation to the channel as well, Fox. I appreciate that. All right, so here we go. We got another one-hit wonder spin. All right, Robert's on here. Now, Robert's been tearing it up on these one-hit wonder spins. All right, so let's see. So Robert's wanting, oh man, you're wanting 1 to 18 as well. All right, there it is, Robert. Let's see what happens. Let's see if you can get that win right there. And, oh, Robert, I do have a chip. I need to get it in the mail to you. I've been so busy this week that I really haven't had a chance to actually put it in an envelope and get it ready for you, but I will have that in there and probably envelope it and drop it off on the way to the ship. All right, 14. There you go. All right, so you doubled your money right there, Robert. So another win, Robert. Another win for you. So if anybody's wondering who is in the lead for this year's one-hit wonder spins, Robert is, I think, officially in the lead. All right, so we have one more. One more right here. Harbor to Happy Hour. He wants 1 to 18 again, so there it is. So let's see what happens. Everybody's thinking that 1 to 18 is the hot location for the one-hit wonder. Eric turned on the magnets. I need here. Let me help it. I think the button's right here. Let me turn the button on. Boom. That's right, Robert. That's right. All right, 7. There we go. All right. All right, Harbor. You have won a one-hit wonder spin. All right, so let me get my chips here. Now that's 3 chips I got to get in the mail right there. All right, so there they are right there. All right. I surely do appreciate the involvement with these one-hit wonder spins, and I also do appreciate those super chats. All right. I mean, I'm not saying it makes it worthwhile to do this, but it does show I do appreciate you guys. All right. What was we running? Y'all remember what we was playing? Oh, that 6th Street strategy. All right. So let's get back. Let's get back to business. All right. So here we go. We're gonna go again. What was our last spin? What did it land on? Anybody remember? Was it 7? I don't know if it was 7 or what it was. I can't remember at this point. Let's just say it was 7. It did hit 7 at one point. All right, so here we go. We're going to go left side now because that was a right side number. And here we go. Let's see if we can make it happen right here. Let's see, what if you played this on top of the $36 point pusher, try to make money and get a better spin average? You could. You could. I mean, we could do that. Let me get to 10 spins. We might switch it over. So that, I see what you're saying. You want to have more on the table, but you're really just hoping this 6th Street really works for you. All right, so 28. So that's that 6 chip loss there. All right, so now we got to double them up. And of course, we could get on a bad run with this. But once we get into it a little further, I'm really fishing to get off into putting a lot of chips on the table if it keeps missing. That's when it gets into, like, the pucker factor really fires up. All right, so that hit the left side, but it hit between, those numbers there. So we're going to hit it again. So that's going to be 12 chips lost right there. All right, so there is 12 chips right there. And let's see. So this bet right here, I'm just going to go up to 3 chips on here for right now. 3 chips on the 3rd bet. Okay, so now if we can get a win right here, then we'll reduce back down to base. But if we get a loss here, then I'm going to actually push them out onto the splits. That's the plan. I should have switched it to the right side because it hit a left side number. And 12. Well, glad we didn't move it. All right, so that's going to pay 33 chips right there. All right, so there is 10, 20. Here is 30. 33 chips, okay? So now, we pretty well just recovered everything we had lost, I do believe. All right, so we're going to drop it back down to 6 chips again. And let's get one more win out of it. So that was 12. So let's switch it over to the right side. That 12 is on the left side of the wheel. All right, looky there. Sammy's on here. Hey, all. And Jason says, good day, Eric. All right. Well, glad y'all joined us. We had some one-hit wonder spins, and we had 3 winners on the one-hit wonder spins so far. All right, 7. Okay, so that's going to be a win there. All right, so that's going to be 11 chips. All right, so there's that 11 to 1. Okay, so that was 10 spins there. All right, so what was brought up is Andrew asked, what if we played this on top of the $36 point pusher? Okay, so what Andrew is wanting us to do is 6 there, 3, 6 right there, and 6 right there. Okay, to have more chips out on the table. Okay, so we have $12 there, $4, $4. Now this is 2 chips. These are $2 chips. I always play with $2 chips because it seems like that's all I ever find on the chips anyway. So now what he's suggesting is, why not play this? Okay, we got point pusher at $36, and then what just hit 7? Okay, so and we go ahead and play the 6th Street strategy. It might be a little difficult to keep up with after they rake the table a few times, but if really and truly you only have to keep up with this, the point pusher is all it's there for is to increase your average. So now we're at 36, there's 40, 44, there's $48 right now out on the table compared to $12 on the table. Okay. All right, so we lost the 6th Street right there. That's those 6 chips there. So now we've got to increase to 2 chips each. All right, so now we've increased our average, another $12. So now we're at $60 on the table. I'm kind of liking the idea. He says, okay, so we got Dr. Chatter here. It says, I'm going on the Celebrity Apex next Saturday. If I want to get at least 2,000 points, what strategy do you recommend me to start? I would start with point pusher. I'd start with it for 10 spins and just give it a go. That's what I would do, and just see how it goes. It's easy to set out after you've seen it a couple times. It's pretty simple. All right, there we go. So that's going to be a 22 chip. I'm not even bothering with the point pusher because that's a push. All right, but this is going to pay 22 chips right there. All right, there is 22 chips right there. All right, now we're reducing back down to 6 chips. And that was a left side number, so now we're going to switch it over to the right side numbers. And we're grinding some profit here. That's all we're trying to do with this one here. All right, let's see. Fox Gaming, will they let you play at any denomination? Yeah. I mean, these chips could be anything you want them to be. You could tell them I want $5 chips or $5 colored chips, and so they'll status that chip as a $5 chip. I'll show you real quick. Let me pay this out. All right, so that's going to pay 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's see. So that's 10. There's 11. All right. So now let me explain. So as far as what denomination chip that you're going to play, when you buy in at the table, these chips are standard $2 chips. They'll, you buy in for $200, they won't give you a rack, but they'll give you 5 stacks of $2 chips. Okay, so that's $200. All right, now, if you come up and someone's already at the table, and they're at the table playing with red chips already, which are $5 chips, they're cash chips. If somebody's already playing with that, and you say, well, I want to play with $5 chips, they will let you do that, but what they're going to do is take 2 of your color chips, and you'll see them. Now, I'll show you. They'll be just like this, okay? They'll put them on the edge of the wheel, and they will put a $5 chip on top of it. So now when the pit boss comes by, he sees the orange chips here with a $5 chip, and that's indicating my chips are now worth $5 a piece. Now, you could say, well, I want my chips to be $25 chips. All right, then they'll do that. Then they'll put a green chip on top of your orange chips. Now the pit boss knows those chips are $25 a piece. And if you're a big roller, which I'll never be that, they'll put a black chip. But I don't think they'll go that far. I mean, they will, but the chances of having 2 or 3 people at the table playing cash chips, slim, you know. I mean, especially up to the black chip level. There are some, but you're not going to come across too many, okay? But normally what you'll see this on the edge of the wheel. And if there's other colors playing the same time and they have theirs at $5, then they'll put one of their chips. I think they'll take one of these away, and then they'll put a $5 chip on both of those. And then if there's another color, they'll put the other color there, and they'll just keep it going like a train. Okay, if that makes sense. All right. And if anybody thinks I'm wrong, then they need to let me know in the comments. But pretty sure that's what I've seen every time I've played. These are all mine, I think. Okay. All right, that's mine. And we'll put these back right there and right there. Okay. Any questions? So we're back to our 6th Street strategy. We're 13 spins into it. Let's see. So that hit a right side number. So let's go left. We're going to go left now. All right. So Dr. Chatter says, is there a maximum bet on the tables on the cruises? Yes. Yeah, there is a $100 max on the numbers. I think it's like, it may be $500. No, it's $1,000 out here on the even bets, which are the 1-to-1 bets, and it is I want to say $500 max on the dozens and the columns. Okay, so there are max bets on there. All right, 5. Okay, so we hit that. All right, so let's pay that. That's going to pay 11-to-1. And there is 11 right there. All right, that hit a right side number, so let's go left. Let's switch it up. Okay. All right, what else? What other question we got there? Let's see. Jason says 10 is just 2 5s, no 10 denominator. Right. Yeah, you don't have a $10 chip. There's only $5, 25, and 100. Of course, there's some $1,000 chips. There's $500 chips. $500 chips are purple, and $1,000 chips are yellow. Let's see. Good idea to disagree with the pro, JK. Okay. Let's see. Oh, you're joking. Okay. Denoms can't only be the chip levels. So 5. Okay, Dan, I got you right there. 5, 25, 100, not 10. Okay. Let's see. Fox Gaming. Thanks, Dan. Andrew says, loss on the point pusher for the 5. Oh, you're right. Thanks for pointing that out. There we go. We lost $36 right there. You know, and but running this, it seems like we can recover it. Thanks for catching that, Andrew. Let's see. Does the street bet have to be a $10 bet on a $10 table, or can it be a minimum 2? Okay, so when it comes to the minimum at the table, it says the minimum is $10. All right, minimum is $10, so which means I got to have at least 5 chips at play. Now, 5 chips at play means I can have 5 chips on one of these bets out here, okay? And anywhere on these outsides, it has to be stacked 5 chips. Inside, that is including the streets, you have to have 5 chips at play. So you could have it there, you can have them there, and you can be like that. As long as you have 5 chips at work on the table, they'll let it play. Okay, and if you don't have enough on there, if you've only got 4 and they happen to look down to see you only have 4, they'll say, hey, you need to put 1 more chip out there somewhere. Okay, so great question. Great question. Let's see. Harbor says, if you have a single zero table that is rating at a half compared to a double zero. That's right. I don't know if it's half, but I know it's a lot less. Which do you play group with point pusher? Which do you play group with point pusher? Kind of lost on that one. I'll catch it tomorrow when I rewatch this thing. Nice. Thanks for the answers. Okay. All right. Glad you joined us there. Is that Proverbs 6:16-33? All right. I appreciate you asking questions because that's what I'm here to do. Oh, what was that? 5? Okay. So we hit 5. So now that was a right side number. We're going to go left, which we're going to go right back to the same bet where we just were. But now we've lost that point pusher. All right. And then we got to put 6 chips there. And load that back up right there. All right, let's go with it. All right, so now we're at that $48 average right now. Got some really good coverage. The only thing really at risk is going to be this 0, 5, 4. Okay, that's, the other ones, if you lose these 6 chips here, it's not a huge loss. But, it is a 6-chip loss. All right, so we just lost those 6 chips there. Let's see. Oh, I needed to double them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so now we've increased. Now we're at $60 on the table. All right, Harbor says, asking the group also. Okay. All right, so we need to get a win here. We are 14 spins into it, unless I missed 1 or 2. 14, that's a push on point pusher. So we lost that. Now we're going to go up to 3 chips each. 3, 3, and 3. All right. Yeah, so, if you're new to the game of roulette, it can be a little intimidating to go up to a busy table, because everybody's just putting stuff out on the table and then trying to work a strategy while so much chaos is going on can get a little confusing. But, after you play it a few times, you'll get the hang of it. And there we go. That's a win there. All right, so that's 33 chips there. So that's a push on point pusher. Let's see. So there is 10, 20. There is 33. All right, so we're going to bring that back to our rack. And what did that hit? All right, that hit a right side number, so we're going to stick with the left. And like I said, I don't play this very often, but every once in a while I'll just kind of dive off into it. If, especially when it starts going south on me, I'll start doing something like this. And a lot of times I'll get lucky and get a few good wins and just kind of to stay alive at the table as long as possible. Let's see. The 6th Street works great for recovering the point pusher. Lots of chips to place if they rate. Yes, it is. Let's see. Which table would you play single at half or double? I don't come across too many single zero wheels. I have played single zero, but like what was mentioned, you don't get as many points on a single zero wheel. So I steer away from it for the most part just because I'm chasing points. Why do I want to put so much money at risk and really not earn the points? You're only talking one more number different. And of course, everybody's like, oh, it's 5% compared to 2%. I get that. But, you can lose on any table. It doesn't really matter. All right, so, but I'm not, I don't think of it that much to chase a single zero wheel. I really don't. You got just as much luck to win on a double zero. I don't know. Anyway, won't dive off into that conversation too much. Let's see. What did I push on? I pushed on point pusher and I won right there. So I got some more questions here. Single zero is 2.5 house edge, if I remember. Double zero is 5%. And thanks, Fox. That's from Harbor. Dan says if you're playing heavily for points, play the double zero wheel. Correct, Dan. Just depends on why you're playing. That's right. Do you go to the table with a strategy in mind, or do you choose when you get there? I have a strategy in mind. I buy in. I know what I'm wanting to run, and if the wheels fall off, then I switch. This is why you got to have multiple strategies, because you can jump on point pusher and 2 spins in it hits 5, and then 4 spins in it hits 4, and bam, that's 2 bullets are gone. And then at that point, then you're trying to climb out of that hole, and that's really difficult to do. With point pusher, if you don't change over to another strategy, which I typically do. I'll switch over to something like this. I'll switch over to either the 5 corners, 1 column strategy, and you know, just kind of switch it up. Try to see if another strategy is working better. You know, every session's different, obviously. So one session will be great for the 5-1. One session will be great for point pusher, and another one would be great for battleship. Okay, so you just got to be ready to switch it over if you have to, if you get yourself in a bind. All right, that's 12 chips lost there. Now we're going up to 3 chips on all these. Still a push on point pusher. Let's see. Yep. Let's see. Escape says single zero is more overseas. Yeah, you rarely see them on the ships. Unless it's coming from overseas. The Oasis class ships, some of them have single zero. I guess Quantum class has single zero table. Not sure too many other ships do. And then probably Quantum has it because they do a lot of overseas with Quantum. All right, 31. All right, we got it. All right. And that's pretty well just gonna win everything we just lost. So we'll just count it out right here. That's gonna be 33 chips profit right there. So there's 33 chips. I'm gonna bring that back to our rack here, and we're gonna switch it over to the right side of the wheel because that was a left side number. Okay, so Jason says, I prefer having a plan prior to any play. That's me. Let's see. Symphony has a single zero. Okay, so Symphony has a single zero. So Dan said that. So Matthew, how you doing, buddy? I don't think I've seen you on here, but good thing you joined us. Do you feel the same way about Princess with the 000 wheel? Oh my gosh, I would never play I mean, even though it's just one number, you know, the 000 just sounds bad. There's just something about it just sounds awful, you know. So I'm just like, if they got a 000 wheel, do not play the 000 wheel. The 00 is bad enough, but 000, they're just trying to break you. All right, so we lost that, and now we're going to go up with that. So, but who's been on Princess, and are they all 000 wheels, or are they like kind of like you got a single zero and the 00 on some ships? Is that kind of the same way it is for Princess? Do they have 00 and then an occasional 000? Just curious. We are starting to play roulette as the craps tables are only open at night on Princess. Yeah, after 8 p.m. typically. Yes, that's about how all of them are. Harbor says Radiance does also. Radiance? I don't think Radiance has a single zero. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it didn't have it when I was on it a while back. I don't recall seeing a single zero, unless maybe they took it off, or anyway, I don't know. I didn't see a single zero on Radiance. All right, now we're up to 3 chips. We're about to get in trouble with this one. Let's see. Radiance. Okay, Dan says, don't play a 000 ever. Okay. Proverb says, please do not play it, make them take them out. That's right. Don't even walk up to the table. If you're faced with 000, go play dancing drums. That's probably a better chance. That was from Jason. And Matthew says 000 on all Princess has. Wow. Man. Escape says 000 is Satan. Harbor's, yep. Yep. All right, 3. All right, there we go. We got it finally. And that's a push for point pusher, but that's 33 chips right here. There is, oh, let me stack them the other way. That way to kind of add up. All right, so there we are. So that is the 33 chips there. All right, how many spins have we gone? So 17 spins into it. All right, but we changed it up at spin 10 to earn more points while we're playing this. So we're earning some points. Let's see. Harbor says got off a few weeks ago. Okay. Let's see. Andrew, if you do cover the 0 instead of the basket, it was the Majestic, and they only had the 000. Okay. Paradise. I'd say never ever play 6-5 blackjack either. Yeah. I'm not a blackjack guy. I don't know. That's the game to me that seems like the casino cheats. I mean, you know, because I can't believe that somehow or another, 9 times out of 10, you go over three cards with blackjack and you bust, right? But the dealer somehow can deal out 7 cards to hit 21. I don't believe it. That happens way too often. You know. All right, 19. So that's going to be a 22 chip profit there. I could be wrong, but that's how I feel. I always feel like I'm getting scammed every time I sit down to play blackjack. All right, so here we go. Let's change it up. All right, so we're not making a lot of profit now. Seemed like we were on a good run of making quite a bit of profit, but well, we're close. Well, we're I think we're $80 in profit right now. It's probably $84 in profit right now. All right, Dr. Shatter says, what is your bankroll for the first night on the cruise, and how do you recommend to divide the bankroll depending on the cruise length? Okay. For me, my wife and I, we take like $1,500. That's kind of our goal, our bankroll, and we use that between the two of us. And you know, I'll buy in for $200 or $300 to kind of start the night, hoping I don't lose anything, and just try to milk that $200 to $300 throughout the course of the night. My wife's about the same way. She plays. She does more slots now. So, you know, so she'll buy in on the slot for like $100, right? So we may have $500 at play on night 1, you know, so just trying to keep that going for as long as we can. Now, it's just according to what we're trying to do. If we're chasing points, that's, you know, obviously we're going to need to bring a bigger bankroll, but usually I may lose a little bit and she may win a little bit. So between the two of us, we float pretty good between that $1,000 to $1,500 throughout the cruise. So that's just how it works for me. But you've got to, you know, you got to manage your points. I try to get about 200 points a day. It's kind of my goal. So if I can sit down and run a strategy like this, it's going to give me 50 points. Okay, I only need to run 40 spins to get 200 points. Okay, and then after I get my points I need for the day, I'll go play craps. Just because I play this for my points and I play craps for fun. Okay, that's how I play. Let's see. Blackjack is so much crap. Oh, that's from Jason. Quick and painful. That's right. Dan says casino doesn't need to cheat because they just stack the odds in their favor. Correct, Dan. That is correct. Escape says, talking about blackjack, I play against the book every time. All right. And Jason says, even with perfect basic strategy, it's still a bad game. Go put the money into something fun like 3-card poker. I've tried 3-card poker and I ain't had any luck with that either. Matthew says, have we chatted before through Holy Roller? Pretty cool. You and Brian are going to be on a cruise together. We're trying to work that out. You know, but it's hard with my schedule. I work for a living, and so I don't have enough time off to get on a cruise. And the other thing is, I'm trying to cruise on my offers that I get, and because I'm such a low, like a low roller, I don't have the offers that he has. There's, you know, I get a lot of Tampa offers, a lot of Fort Lauderdale, Miami, and of course they're killing us with Los Angeles offers right now. So trying to line something up with Brian is proving to be difficult. But we are going to make it happen. We're going to figure something out. There's going to be a time we're going to make it happen. And there is a chance that we've chatted through Holy Roller. I've known Brian for a couple of years now. He's kind of the reason I started a channel here. I kind of saw what he was doing with his channel and just felt like I liked roulette and he liked craps, and you know, just through conversation, I kind of decided, hey, I'm gonna make a channel up to where I play roulette to earn points and just see how it goes. And you know, you guys have been gracious enough to send me strategies, and it gives me content. It gives me things to talk about. And you know, we wouldn't have never come up with these great strategies here that we've developed, and we mainly develop them on Sunday night. Most of our good strategies have been developed right here on Sunday night. So the people that's not participating on Sunday night, they're missing out. All right, that pays 11 to 1 right there. And let's see, we're gonna keep it there. Okay. All right, what we got? All right, Dan says, I think Rhapsody has the single zero, not radius. Okay, yeah, Rhapsody probably might have it because the Rhapsody don't have a craps table. And so they may have the single zero on there because they, instead, okay, yeah, we have that instead of the craps table. Gotcha. Fox says, would love to do roulette versus craps challenges. You know, we're going to work it out. We're going to get it there somehow or another. I've had a conversation with Brian, and we are in talks to put something together. But, you know, it's just lining it up. It's proving to be difficult, especially with my year right now. I mean, I've got, my daughter's graduating. I've got a lot on my plate over the next few months, obviously. Really can't do much over the summer because I do have that Alaska cruise in the summer. My other daughter with all of her stuff. So I've got about a 6-month window here that's like I can't hardly do a whole lot extra. All right, 11. All right, it's going to pay 22 chips right there. There's 22. All right, there's that. We're going 14 spins. All right, but we've had a good average going right here. So that hit right again. So we're going to stick with the left side. It's hitting right, but we're getting lucky and hitting the numbers we need to hit. All right, let's see. Yeah, I like the challenges, but I'm trying to figure out. I would love to video it, but the problem is you cannot video on Royal Caribbean. It may be one of those things where I may have to meet him in Vegas. I may have to go out there and, you know, then we can go to like Casino Quest or something like that, where they have a table available and some tables available, and then we kind of run it. But I do like the point of the points, you know. You know, make the challenge be something that, you know, we're each, you know, maybe you guys could come up with a good idea to how the challenge could work, how to make it fair. You know, do you buy in for $100 and see who can get the most points with $100 at the roulette table or at the craps table? You know, is that something we could do? Or do you set a time limit or what, you know? Got to come up with something. All right, so we just lost 6 chips there. So there's 6 there. All right, we are 27 spins running Point Pusher. We had 1 bust on Point Pusher. I think that's all we've had on Point Pusher. Now that I mentioned, it's probably about to happen again. All right, 26. All right, so that's a loss there. So that's a loss of 12 chips right there. And there is those 12 right there. Okay, now we're going up to 3 chips. Now this third bet right here is really just like, I hope I can just get back what I just lost. Let's see, blah, blah, blah. Okay, Jason says, so we're playing a hybrid here, Point Pusher and the 5 streets with Fibonacci. No, we are playing Point Pusher and we're playing the 6 street strategy. And we're actually, whatever side of the wheel hits, we're going opposite of that. So that's the left side of the wheel. So that was the right side. So we just lost all that. Now, we haven't made it to this point yet. So now I'm going to go 2 chips on all of my streets. Okay. So this is the next level to this. And I would increase to 4 chips on that other one, but I think we'd be in the negative. So what I'm hoping to do is now throw some splits out here. And of course, our best numbers to hit will be one of those across the middle there. Let's see. Yeah, so this is just 6 streets. So that was the left side. We're playing the right side. We're just trying to figure out how to get it to work out for us. Casino Chris would be great. You know, we can try that if I can get back, if I can get out there. What would you call this strategy? I don't know. We'll call this the Point Pusher hybrid or something like that. Okay, so that was a loss. So we lost all of our streets and our splits. It's about to get expensive. Okay, but with the Point Pusher, that's going to pay 6 chips. Okay, so let's go ahead. We'll pay 6 chips. That's going to be 6 chip profit right there. So we're bringing that back. Okay, now we lost on our streets. So now we've really got to push it up. We're going 4. 4, 4, 4, 4, and 4. And now 2, 2, 2, 2. And we're just going to go 2 on all these. We got to get lucky right here. Wait, I'm doing these wrong because I was here. Let's keep them where we had it. I don't want to change it up. Yeah, because I had that on the 1 down there. I'm probably regretting that I moved these. So 4 there. We got 2 there. And 2 there. And 2, 2. Okay. All right. Now, we got a pile of chips out there now. And we've got our fingers crossed, our toes crossed, and we've got the 2 people on both sides of us with their fingers crossed for us. 1 loss and no zeros. Well, we just hit the 0, so that worked. Come on. All right, so we got a piece of it. All right, there we go. All right, so this is all a loss. Right there, that one's a loss. All right, let's bring it all back over here. We're going to rake the table and pay this out. All right, so now that's going to pay 17 to 1, so that's going to be 34 chips right there. Ugh. All right, so that's going to pay 34 chips. Is that my stack? All right, so there is 10, 20. I'm not sure if we're going to recover everything, but this might be that time that you say, you know what, it's time to walk away. We've got most of it back. Let's go ahead and cut and run. Okay, so there's 34. So let's go ahead and bring that back to our rack. Okay, now this is going to pay 44 chips right there. All right, there's 20. There is 40. And 40, 44 right there. So it was a push on the point pusher. And here's all our profits. This is all of our loss right there. Let's put that back in the rack over there. Now let's rake the table, because now we've gone 30 spins with it. And let's just see what we finished with here. We're in profit because we started with $200. Now it's just a matter of how much profit that we have. All right, 20, 40, 60, all right, 80. All right, so we're at $84 profit. Pucker level is high. That's right, Dan. That was, you know, you hate to do that, but, you know, sometimes you've got to do that to really get some profit out of it. Now, the 23 would have been the better number to hit. When you do that, you really want one of those middle ones to hit, because that's going to be your largest profit, obviously. All right, so we bought in for 200. We're leaving with 284. That is a plus of $84. We went 30 spins with it. All right, so in the course of that strategy there, we started with only 6 chips on the table, so 12 points, right? And then, you know, we'd increase to, you know, $24 and then $36. So you don't know where your average would be for that. So let's just say we're at 20 points for those first 10 spins. All right. But after spin 10, we increased to $48. So let's say 50 for 20 spins. So that's 100, and we'll say 20 points. So 120 points for that session. So that's just because if he comes by and he checks your average early, you're only at $12, but then he comes back and you switch it up and you go to that point pusher plus the 6 streets, or you could have it there the whole time. So it's completely up to you. That's just kind of what we did, just to make it kind of a hybrid, because we have such a low bet going. Maybe that is the idea to go with, is play that point pusher while playing the 6 streets. But, you know, it's completely up to you guys. It did work out this time. And like I said, I play that 6 street strategy sometimes, and it works out. I mean, I don't say most of the time or all the time or anything like that, but it does work out every once in a while. All right, so we're going to say 275 bucks. Let's say we tipped them $5. Okay? All right. Where are we at? How much time? We have been going an hour and 20 minutes. You guys are still hanging on. How is that even? How have I been on here an hour and 20 minutes? What the heck? I just got lost in making money, I guess. So, all right, get those one-hit wonders in here so we can get this thing going. I didn't know we'd been on here this long. Gosh almighty, I ain't never gone over this far. But you guys are holding on strong. I do appreciate that. Lord have mercy. I know I rambled on there at the beginning, but having such a good time chatting with you guys. All right, so get those one-hit wonder spins in here for me. Oh, y'all got them coming. Y'all been waiting. Y'all been waiting for me to pull the plug. I got to get to bed. I got a long night tomorrow night, standing at either the craps table or sitting at the roulette table. Probably standing at the craps table more. Let's see. What do we do for points? So for the night, 270 points. Okay. And we're up, let's see, $114. So plus $114 for the night. All right. So we did good. We did better than we have been in the past. Past few weeks, we have been getting killed. All right. Let's get this out of the way. All right, goodness gracious alive. I didn't know I had been on here for this long. You guys are probably ready for bed. All right, here we go. Let's get our chips here. All right, this is the one-hit wonder spin for the night. Last spin, one-hit wonder. You got 20 chips to work with, no minimum anywhere. And you chat in, you tell me where to put it. I start at the top where everybody starts dropping them in, and then we go from there. So let's see, first up is Escape. All right, Escape, you're going to be blue. All right, let me get this so I can read it here. All right, 10 on, okay, so there we go, we got blue. All right, you want 10 on 0 double 0 split, and 10 on 13. All right, there you go, 10 there, right there. All right, got you. That's Escape. All right, Big Day, you're going to be purple. Let's see, no, orange. We're going to make you orange. All right, Big Day, we're going to make you orange. All right, Big Day, 4 chips on 8. Let me get some stacks of 4 here. All right, so there we go. 4 chips on 8, 11, 23, 26, and let's see, I got 4 more chips, Big Day. Oh, 4 more on 31. There it is. Okay, got you. All right, next up, green. All right, Sammy, you're green. I'm gonna get you a few chips. I've already sent you a couple, so I'm gonna work on getting you some more. Let's see. I want 12. Let's see, so that's 10. All right, we got 12, 19 to 24, double street, and 8 on the 22-25 split there. Gotcha. All right, next up, Robert. All right, Robert, you want 12. I want first 12. I want first 12 column. All right, we're gonna go right there. All right, there we go. We got you, Robert. I think that's right. Is that right? Make sure that's right. Let's see, Patty. All right, Patty, we're gonna give you pink, okay? And let's see, so pink. So Patty wants 10 chips on 25 to 29 corner. All right. And 10 chips on 28-32 corner. Gotcha. All right, Big Day, I got you. And Fox. Let's see. So Fox, I'm going to make you yellow. All right, 3 on the basket. All right, so there's 3 chips on the basket there. And the rest on the middle column. All right, we got you. Oh, you want a basket. I'm sorry. All right, we got you. All right, next is, let's see. All right, Jason. We got black chips. All right, so here we go. We got black 20. Oh, you're changing it up. What the heck? 20 on 22-25 split. Okay. All right, we got you there. Let's see. Red. All right, Harbor. All right, Harbor, we got you 20 chips here. And you said third column. All right, I got you. And Patty says, thank you, Dr. Chatter, 17. You want all on 17. Okay, so we're going to go white. Let's see, Chatter. And you want all on 17. Okay, there you go. Got them all on 17. All right, Paradise. All right, this is the last one I can get in here. I'm out of colors, so I got to use special chips for that one. And let's see, everything on first dozen. Okay, there it is. All right, so, all right, Andrew. Oh man, I missed you, buddy. Robert said column, not okay. So all right, Robert, you said column. So we're gonna go here. All right. All right. So Andrew, I'm trying to figure out how can I get you. I don't have enough colors. But you did say 16, 19 double street. Okay, let's make that something special. How are we going to do that? Here we go. We'll just put these right here, 1619 double street right there, being you put them all together. And we'll put a red chip right there. That's a special Kentucky Derby chip right there. All right, we got you. All right, we're going to let you have that one there. So we're going to say your Kentucky color or Kentucky Derby chips. And that's Andrew. All right, so remember, it's one spin, and you don't have to double up. All you got to do is win, okay? And make sure to send me your name, your address to roulettecruisin@gmail.com, and also include your screen name so I know I'm sending it to the right person. I am making notes. So here we go. Who's ready to win the last spin one-hit wonder? The end of episode 47. We have almost made it to 50 episodes of this, and surprisingly, you guys are killing it. And we got Patty. Patty has a $4.99. Thanks for sticking around so long. Oh, Lord, Patty, I appreciate the super chat. I really do. All right, 35. Okay. So it looks like the only one that wins anything is going to be 35 is yellow. All right, Fox. Fox Gaming has won another chip here on the last spin one-hit wonder. All right, so make sure, Fox, to send me your name, your address to roulettecruisin@gmail.com. I appreciate you guys hanging out so long. I'm sorry we went over so long, but I do appreciate you guys hanging out. Patty, I do appreciate that super chat there, and we'll get that chip to you, Fox. I do appreciate y'all. All right, let's see. Escape says, have a good trip. All right, I'll let y'all know how it goes for another Sunday night spin. You're no problem, Randall. Let's see. Sammy says, thanks. Harbor, congrats, Fox. And Sammy, well done. Jason, well done, Fox. Big day. Have a great trip. Good luck on your cruise. That was from Fox. And Jason says, have fun on your trip. All right, guys. I'll let y'all know how it goes when I get back. But I may throw something on the Facebook page, or make sure to go and follow down in the description. Follow that link over to the Facebook page, and I may put some stuff on there while I'm on the cruise. You never know. We'll see what happens. All right, guys. Until next time, happy cruising. Make sure to hit that like button, and if you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe. 35 to 1 Roulette Cruisin'. And until next time, happy cruising. We'll see y'all.